Results are good, but what's happening in Washington is bad. And then what do you do about it?
Oh, sure. Well, I think obviously Facebook has quite a bit of lobbying yet to do as it relates to its data privacy positioning and Libra, et cetera. But, largely we think privacy issues, data privacy issues are behind the stock now. I certainly think the FTC's ruling was, largely a get out of jail free pass for Facebook here. And with that behind them and a stock that's, really trading at 20 times earnings, growing top line comfortably in the, call it mid-20s with, 40-50% op margins, we're aggressive buyers of the stock here.
But how do you think about the new FTC investigation? How do you think about the Department of Justice on antitrust? All noise?
Yeah, I think. I think partly it's noise. I think on the antitrust side, I think we just don't quite see what the FTC will be looking for here. I mean, even if you split these companies in two, you're still going to have two of the biggest platforms from a user standpoint that are out there in social media. That being Instagram and Messenger and Newsfeed. So I'm not sure that you're going to stem any sort of competitive concerns that the antitrust review would be taking. So we don't see a split up happening at Instagram and certainly think that there's some, obviously some political theater here. But largely speaking, we think the companies the pieces of this company will stay in place.
I want to get to Julie on the West Coast in 1 second, but I did want to ask you about Libra. Does that factor into any of your thinking around this stock?
No, Libra is really a call option on the stock here. There's no expectation really built into the stock here, at least for us. And largely, like I said, I think there's some lobbying that Facebook has to do here, so we'll reserve judgment there. But, I would say we're a little more optimistic on Facebook getting this through, I'd say, than generally what you hear out in the media.
Hey, Julia, what's the mood right now inside Facebook, given the fines, given these new investigations? Is it better? Is it worse? I mean, the results speak for themselves, and yet there's this overhang.
Well, I think the results speak for themselves, but there is still this question of what the future holds. And I think it's really interesting when you had that one comment from the CFO, David Wehner, is sending the stock from higher after hours into the red. And he said there's going to be more pronounced deceleration and around uncertainties around ad targeting. And you have to ask, what are those uncertainties? Is it the fact that they're giving consumers the option of opting out of ad targeting, which would make those ads less valuable? Is it the fact that they don't know what other regulation is going to come and how that could impact how they target ads? So I think there is a sense that they're glad this FTC announcement is done. They want to make sure it's clear that they think this is a big deal and they're reformed. But we don't know what the future holds still. And there are these questions about whether or not Facebook's ad targeting engine, which has been so valuable, is going to be just less powerful if they can't use as much data about you in that targeting. So I think that they know there's a big quarter ahead. The next couple of months in Washington are going to be very busy for Facebook. And I think they want to just get through that as unscathed as they may have been by this FTC decision.
Hey, Mark, as a bull on the stock, how do you evaluate what Julie just said in terms of the challenges that they may have in terms of targeting ads in the future?
Yeah, no, Julia, those are some great points. I would just say, I probably separate privacy from just, Facebook's usage of data for targeting. So I don't think what the FTC is doing is saying Facebook has to close down its data collection practices. It's really just in a more privacy-friendly way. So I think, Facebook has probably learned a lot of lessons here, and largely we think we'll have a much more data privacy-centric platform here as we move forward. So, and I guess the other point I would make is it speaks to the antitrust. I mean, this is a sort of a balance between utility to the user in a data-protected way. So when you split up these companies, or if the proposal is to think about splitting up these companies, how does that affect the utility of the user? And I think, generally speaking, a user will find much more utilities with these platforms together or combined in a data privacy way than they will split. So I think those are the questions that should be looked at as it relates to the antitrust review.